Needless to say, he caught his butt on fire in the pastor's house, and he basically stood there screaming while the other guys looked at him, not knowing what to do. And finally, the pastor's son had to reach over and smack the dude's butt to put the fire out.
Of course, the pastor's son.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back to...
That's awkward.
Welcome back. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Youth Group Chronicles. Co-hosting today is myself and Antonio.
What up?
Hey, guys, this is Isaiah from Youth Group Chronicles. And welcome back to the show. Episode 56. Truly, it's a blessing to be here, man. Thanks for listening.
Honor to be here.
I really wanted Sam and Antonio on this just because it's a nice mix. You know, Sam's super serious sometimes, and Antonio can never be serious at all.
Ever.
It's honestly
Even
true.
during the intro, you know,
it's true.
Some people just can't be serious. So, Sam, you know, I'm going to give it over to our co-host.
Thank you. Really honored to be here, Antonio. Good to have you again.
What's up, bro? Thank you.
This is Antonio's second podcast episode with Youth Group Chronicles. Isaiah, you've been around for a while, but it's good to have you back as well. Thanks for being here, bro.
It's good to be here, man. You know, I love me some YG Chronicles.
These are some email submissions today. We'll jump into some fails as well from people that have they've messaged in on Facebook. But before we get started, if you're listening to this and you want to send in some stories, maybe you've been listening for a couple episodes, email them to ygchronicles@gmail.com. And I don't know, they might get made fun of.
100%. If I'm on this show,
they're getting made fun of.
You have to be really careful because you can send something in and you might get anyone else as a co-host, and it's like, oh wow, that's a tough story. And then Isaiah's here. He's like, how do I make fun of this story?
And it's very possible.
Yeah, it's 100% possible. Yeah. So just keep that in mind.
I just stared down the camera for 10 seconds because it's real.
I do have to say, this is not to make fun of youth pastors at all, or be like, oh my gosh, church is horrible. This is really funny to me personally. And most people that listen are like, wow, this is like really encouraging that, wow, one, I know I'm not alone, and I thought I did some crazy things, and then I listened to this show and I realized like, wow, we have angels in our youth group. That's kind of like the main goal of it. So I don't want anybody to be like, wow, you guys hate churches. We don't. We're very involved in ministry, very involved in our churches.
Going off of that, I've been in church my whole life. So honestly, some of these stories are like, wow, the fact that we didn't do this first.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. I'm surprised some of these stuff didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then some of it was our church.
Yeah, I would say we got quite a few stories coming in from our church.
Dang. I need to go back and listen.
Just want to say, before we make fun of you, we love you so much.
We do.
And be encouraged, man. You're the beloved, you know.
You're
grafted
the beloved.
In. Love you guys.
All right, let's kick things off with Chelsea. She emailed in and said, one time our youth pastor and his wife asked 4 of the teenage boys to babysit their 2 little girls, one of which was the head pastor's son. Now, in true teenage boy fashion, the boys got bored after the little girls went to bed, and I don't know how it happened exactly, but they decided to see just how flammable a can of Axe body spray is.
Oh, of course.
Naturally, right?
Of course.
Everybody was doing that.
And what a better way to figure this out than to spray it on one of the guy's bare butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Needless to say, he caught his butt on fire in the pastor's house, and he basically stood there screaming while the other guys looked at him, not knowing what to do. And finally, the pastor's son had to reach over and smack the dude's butt to put the fire out.
Of course, the pastor's son. The pastor's kid.
Pastor's
I volunteer as tribute.
Always the pastor's kid.
Is in that group. Actually, there
of course he had to, by the way. You know what I mean?
I'm only doing this because I have to.
Right, it's just because I have to. That's crazy.
He enjoyed it, dude. He had to enjoy it. Not in a weird way, dude. Can you imagine? Like, how do you enjoy that in not a weird way? That's what I want to know.
Okay,
so listen, it's already the pastor's son, right? Or was it the pastor's son's friend?
The pastor's son's friend.
Oh, okay. No, then he probably didn't enjoy that much.
Oh, you're saying if he had to smack the pastor's son?
If it was his son, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand.
No,
I
weird. That's why I said that in a
weird
way. Yeah,
but it's still weird.
That's why you have to listen to the story.
It's true. I wasn't listening.
Victor said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I was still just the youth ministry intern. We had a youth group night where we had selected and prepared a few students to share their testimonies with the group. The youth pastor was hosting a parents' camp info meeting in the adjacent room, leaving just me in charge with the students and other youth leader volunteers. There was one student in particular who was lined up to speak that was already known for saying some kind of like off the cuff and unpredictable things. And we had talked to him extensively before that night, laying out the expectations for his testimony, you know, what the do's and don'ts were of his content. So he shared his testimony and it started out perfectly fine. But when he started talking about some of the sin in his recent past, he must have felt really moved to overshare with the entire youth group. With no warning, he dropped a couple of sentences identifying by name some of the acts that he struggled with when he wrestled with sexual immorality.
Oh my God.
Immediately, all the heads of the leaders and a few of the older students snapped toward me. In the time that I had to process what he had just said, he had already moved on. I couldn't have cut him off or done anything at all at that point. It seemed like he had moved on completely and we were in the clear, but I was dead wrong. A minute later, he circled back around to his previous sin and once again, with the parents just on the other side of the wall, used a few detailed words to accurately name his personal sexual sin and unnecessarily the frequency with which it occurred, which was alarming in itself. But again, before I could even begin to close the distance with the stage, he had already moved on. Fortunately, it did not happen a third time, but I knew the damage was done. There were plenty of younger students who undoubtedly were going to go to their parents at night because of the sex ed class they got at youth group, asking what this word was and what this act was. That's horrible.
That, like, I already know it's like some off the wall, just nasty.
This is why you don't let kids have the microphone.
It's true.
I understand forgiveness, but you should know. You should know. If the man has said some things before, don't give him the mic again.
But well, they thought they were safe, though. You
know
what I mean? The night before, they laid it out. They went over everything.
Hold on.
You know,
they
tried to be prepared.
All I'm saying is when you ask a kid to give his testimony, he gonna do it.
Yeah, it's true.
He gonna do it. You know what I mean?
It's true.
I was delivered from this, which is
for all the younger students here.
I brought a whiteboard, so this, like, come on, fam, you knew what you were getting into.
I think it was Pastor Chad said the best thing he ever learned was when you're doing testimony night, you hold the mic for them.
Hold the mic.
You just go, hey, go ahead and share your testimony so you can
just
pull it away.
Praise the Lord.
That's it. That's a huge lesson learned, hopefully, for some people listening to this. If you take away nothing, it should be that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to some youth ministry fails.
Yes.
These are good. I love these.
Yeah,
Nathan said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I had a teen that was nearly hung in a game of what team can keep a kid on the wall.
I don't like it already. I don't like it already.
In a game of what team can keep a kid taped to the wall the longest with only duct tape.
Of course.
Yeah, I got a good talking to from the pastor and the kid's parent. He must have slipped through the duct tape.
Oh, yeah. No. That sounds like a bad idea. We were actually just talking about just doing it to like our nieces and nephew, but they're also like 40 pounds, so that'd be easy.
Hanging them? Is that what you were trying to do?
With tape.
Oh, uh-huh.
Against the wall.
Brian said, have you ever heard of the now banned game Chubby Bunnies? Let me introduce you to my made-up version of Chubby Bunnies, which is called Hot Chihuahua. Instead of using dangerous marshmallows, we instead use a nicer and less melty whole jalapeno from a can, and those suckers are hot.
Well, I thought I was going to say Takis.
The kids who volunteered to do this,
glizzies.
Some glizzies, boy.
No, they're peppers. The kids who volunteered to do this were to go one at a time, putting the pepper in their mouth and say Hot Chihuahua. The one with the most, who can stand it the longest, wins. Well, this one 12-year-old girl, one with drool, snot, and tears pouring out of her face, and one with 7 whole jalapenos in her mouth, she ended up developing sores in and on her face.
Oh, man.
Not only that, she touched one of her eyes while she was washing up, even causing more irritation.
That's my gosh. The worst. That's so mean. That's so wild. That's what she gets.
Have you ever
volunteered for the game?
After, like, anything like that? Like a jalapeno?
That's crazy.
What's the icy hot?
I've gotten a little bit of pepper in my eye. It's not fun.
No. We've done icy hot. Icy hot is like...
I've never...
Why would you touch your eye with chemicals?
I mean, dude, if you forget, like cheer and stuff, but we put a lot on because you're sore. It's like, you forget, bro, you wipe your eye over for you. You're in the bathroom. flushing out.
This
your
girl
eyes.
was already bawling.
Yeah,
She
That's-
made
she
it
was
worse.
going through it. Snot face,
Should have
snot
thrown
face,
some milk
runny
on her
eyes.
face.
Dang. Douse herself in milk.
2%.
Don said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I did not have time to preview the YouTube video my lesson asked for me to show. So I typed in the link, and a row of videos to choose from it showed porn as the thumbnail of one of the videos. Sad part is I got called away to fix a problem while the kids sat watching the image and laughed at me.
Oh my.
So she pulled it up in
goodness.
front of the entire youth group. You have to preview this stuff.
Oh yeah.
I hear this all the time.
The thumbnail. That's just like one of like the ads or something on,
Yeah,
on like the side
right.
of the screen.
Yeah, for the video. Why? I don't understand how the church video was tied unless they were just trolling churches or something.
Yeah, that's weird. What website was she pulling up? Because
I
that's
don't wanna
wild.
hear it, man.
I mean, I obviously don't really want to know, but
And Tony was
wild.
like, for research purposes.
for research purposes,
crazy.
nah, you're wild.
This is crazy.
That's literally what you sounded
is
like.
And I was like, okay,
Nah,
I really
honestly,
wanna
that's
know,
exactly what I was like. Why is
but Make sure they know.
Why does,
Disclaimer: I do not want to
He-
know
he
what
said-
website.
he said, "Wait, did they say like
www.thischurch.
what's her email?
Write it down for me.
What's her
Y'all
email
are
address?
wild. Don't try to clown me. Why me?
Which one though? Like, which video was it? And like, that's crazy.
Jake said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I left a kid at the world's smallest biker bar on the way to camp.
Dang.
Why
I have a
is-
lot of questions.
Why is that a fail?
You left him at the bar.
Oh, a bar.
Yeah.
A biker bar.
Wait,
That's what
what
I'm
were
wondering.
you doing there?
Why were they there? How
Potty
did
break?
they get there?
He said it was the world's smallest
Okay.
biker bar. I mean, he doesn't say body break, but that's what I would guess.
Brother, there's a
And then he
Walmart
forgot him.
everywhere. A Dollar General.
This is probably.
In
I feel like this is
every,
like
like-
down south or out, way
Come
out
on.
west.
Maybe.
This man went to a bar.
Yeah.
Hey. Y'all
Jake-
thirsty. Come on, man.
Julianne said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when, for some reason, I honestly have no idea why, my phone would always autocorrect okay to the word playboy. Normally I would catch it, but once I
don't know
didn't.
why. I don't know why, but
I sent it to a teenage boy in a sentence. I had to apologize to the
Yo.
parents.
come on. Come on. Do we not?
Just throwing yourself under the bus.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yo.
Do we not proofread our
be
text
reported.
messages?
What's this at name?
Hey.
It needs to be reported right now. That's wild. dude.
How are you?
wild.
I'm Playboy. I mean,
I didn't mean that
Come on,
unless
bro.
you're into that stuff. I just done. She needs to be reported.
That's crazy.
This is why we
teenage
don't
boy.
This is why we don't say last names on this show, because
That's crazy.
I
Poor
will flame
Julianne
you.
would get-
You will get
That's
flamed on here.
nuts. Ooh. Yeah, it just got sent to some random TJ boy. I don't know what happened.
God.
Creep.
Oh, man, you creep.
Julie, we're
That's
just playing.
wild.
We're just joking.
yeah, you can't take anything seriously
don't.
from Isaiah.
Oh,
And
man.
they say it with love. Don't
I
worry.
love you so much. The
It's
love
all
of Christ.
love. It is all love.
Karen said, my biggest...
Oh, of course.
Of course, Karen.
No,
My biggest youth ministry fail was forgetting the setup of our stage and falling off in front of all the parents, grandparents, staff, and students at a VBS closing event. I tried to grab the mic stand on the way down to catch me, but it just fell with me.
Yo, I need a video. I need just
Send proof.
Or it
Send
didn't happen.
proof. Proof
if
where it
you're
didn't
watching
happen.
this, please send a video. I know you had it on live stream.
You gotta have
Please
it
send it.
somewhere. You
Please
gotta have
send
it
it.
somewhere.
That's freaking
That's
great.
hilarious.
Matthew said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I was leading worship for our middle school ministry and we were playing Chris Tomlin's Indescribable. In the song, there's a line that says, heavenly storehouses laden with snow. And I accidentally said, heavenly whorehouses laden with snow.
I knew it. As soon as it said storehouse, I was like, yeah, he said whorehouse.
Immediately, I knew it.
Heavenly whorehouse.
That's an oxymoron, but
That's wild.
true.
They're going to heaven too
Yeah.
if they repent.
true.
Stop looking at me.
We had to finish the sentence.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to finish. I was just like,
They're loved too,
What
y'all.
doctrine
Come
Yes,
on.
they are
right
loved.
You heretic.
Say like once saved, always saved.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you would say that on this podcast. That's so wild. That's so crazy. Yo, that's nuts, Antonio.
Oh my gosh.
Who invited you to?
This is crazy.
I didn't invite them. They invited themselves. That's all I have to say.
That's crazy. Yeah. This man Sam didn't know what he was getting himself into.
I feel like he did. He's handling it pretty well.
He wanted it.
Sierra goes,
He wanted it.
"Are you sure you want those two on your podcast?" I'm like, it'll be fine, baby. It'll be fine.
He said, "Yeah, I mean, it can't be that bad."
Goes home and edits out half the podcast.
It just came at. He just came at whole doctrine on TikTok.
I'm crying.
I'm so done, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, Antonio's definitely crying right
This is crazy. Oh my goodness gracious, man.
Oh, deep breath.
Let's go with some more fails, man. This is wild,
fails are the
bro.
greatest
This is
thing in the
great.
world.
James said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when we did trust falls, and I went ahead and joined in with the kids. Well, they were standing a tad too close to me, and when I fell backwards, I flipped over their arms head first onto the floor. The hat I was wearing jammed into my scalp, scalped me with an 18-centimeter long V-shaped pole, and I also nearly snapped my neck, and now I have a protruding disc in my spinal cord.
What cut is the hat?
Yeah, so
What?
the brim of his hat, let me see,
What's it made?
was
out of?
jammed
Freaking
into his...
metal?
I mean, if you fall forward directly with a brim of a hat, I could definitely see it scalping
That's
you.
when you throw in the towel.
On this episode,
that
the fact
moment-
are capped.
At that moment, you have to throw in the towel at that.
Zay's gonna demonstrate this real quick.
Got you. Real quick. I need some help.
Yo.
Can we bring him in, please?
Let's do a trust fall off this table. David said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I once said during a message that Gideon went from a weakling to a BAMF, and my wife just stared at me in the face and hasn't let me live it down.
Just the acronym?
I hope it was just the
I'm hoping it
acronym.
was the acronym. Yeah. No, I'm actually super...
I don't think you would have said that. Maybe I could be wrong. I am
If
going to
he's
give him the
actually
benefit of the
preaching and
doubt.
He's probably done it before. I'm going to assume it was an acronym.
I'm assuming acronym as well.
But I already know what it meant, so that means...
That's an easy one, though.
Oh,
All
yeah.
I'm saying is I've preached in front of some kids before, and I called them all ugly on accident. I was like, "You're so loved by Jesus, and you're all so ugly." It was bad. It was bad. There's still video proof. So, I mean, you make mistakes, man. You know what, man? Be confident in what you said, because somebody need to hear that.
Be bold. Be
They needed to
confident.
hear that.
Stand by it,
For real.
no matter what.
That's Gideon, man. You was a big... no, I'm playing.
You're stupid.
I'm just saying, man. I'll just say him and Samson, they're just big. That's it. That's it.
I actually don't know if Gideon was
No.
much of a big dude. Wasn't he kind of like a
And I don't
weakling?
think Samson was
Yeah,
big
I
either.
think
No,
he
I
was-
think Samson
he
was
like
big.
an-
I
Samson
mean,
was...
I feel like if he was big, then that would take away from like God giving him power.
Dude,
through
imagine
his-
No,
he's
but if
like,
you look at any
imagine
illustration of
Samson
him,
was like a
he's like-
$130.
Literally, I'm saying
Samson.
Oh,
Wouldn't
dang.
that make God even more great?
that is
you know
true.
what
Come
I
on
mean?
now.
Like
Yeah,
he does
that's
it
true.
for the glory
Yeah.
of himself.
Yeah.
So like
So
if
Gideon was definitely
if
a little guy.
Gideon went around, or if Samson went around looking like
Pastor
Don.
Cody. Oh.
If he went around looking like Don, I'd
Shout
be
out
like,
Pastor
it
Cody.
wasn't his hair.
That's true.
The man could bench a horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, okay. I see what
You
you're
feel
saying.
me?
So you're... Bro
but
had
it's
to be-
just like,
okay.
yeah, I'm saying.
That's fair.
He's
I
got to
see
be
it.
running around looking like Mo.
That's crazy. How you
Poor
gonna
Mo.
disrespect Mo
No,
like
because
that?
you did that
Nah, we got it recorded, so it was all you, dog.
earlier. Nah, that's crazy.
Shout out Mo,
Love you, Mo.
Mozart,
All right.
Mo Best.
You're the
One
best.
more story. This is from Angie. She said, my biggest youth ministry fail was a long time ago. We were having a youth night, and my husband thought that a strobe light basketball game sounded fun. I was 7 months pregnant and had run a few errands. When I opened the basement door that led to the basketball court, I stepped inside and was instantly drilled and taken out by a kid.
Okay, that's not where I thought it was going. I thought it was more going like a seizure, like a kid having a seizure. Strobe lights are wild.
Don't talk about seasons.
That's where I was going though.
Yeah,
That's where
I
thought
can
it
see
was
that.
going.
I will say, you all will never hear the story. There was a story where a person got injured. It was a serious story, and Isaiah.
No. Somebody was in the studio, and their imagination was like
running rampant.
Yeah.
Isaiah's imagination got the best of him, and we edited it out of the show for the sake of the family because
was crying, bro.
Yeah, it was very
crying.
bad.
Like crying.
I sent that to you, right? You saw that?
Honestly, probably.
Okay. Yeah, it was bad. I don't edit much
But it
out of
was
the show,
hilarious.
but it was one of those things I'm like,
It was hilarious.
if this ever got back to that family, I'd feel really bad.
I know what you're talking
It was
about.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Not me laughing at.
No,
that,
not at.
But like the story was hilarious. It really was.
It happens. But if you have some stories that you want to be chuckled at,
send them.
Definitely send them into the show. ygchronicles@gmail.com. We'd love to feature you on the show. Also, you might get a cool video made about you on TikTok. Videos every day of the show.
Bro,
What's cool?
Growing. It's growing.
Yeah,
big.
it is growing.
Yeah.
What's cool is some of the videos are like episodes that haven't come out yet, so that's fun. And then on top of that, you get to see all our faces, which is even more fun because Isaiah is renowned for.
Man, I just want to say, like, I really, the fame is crazy. You know, the last 100 followers I've gotten have come from this TikTok, and it took me from 200 to 300. So like,
you are growing,
crazy.
bro.
It's growing,
That's
man.
insane. That's
Over a
awesome.
span of a year.
Look at what God can do.
Dang. Says we're running it for like 6
I
months.
know, I'm literally joking, bro.
Also-
How many followers do I have? Like 60,000?
16,000 today.
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fire.
Yeah, honestly, people have been definitely jumping on the show, and even the podcast itself. I mean, thanks to everybody listening. It's absolutely awesome. It'll be probably quite a bit higher by the time this comes out, but as of now, we're sitting right around 1,500 downloads a week.
That's phenomenal.
So
Fire.
That's
we're
wild,
happy
yeah.
with
That's
it.
so cool.
So, and that's been 6 months at
Straight
the time
out
of this
the
recording.
L.
Less,
Straight out the
5
L,
months
man.
at the time of this recording.
Shout
So
out the fans.
yes, appreciate you guys. You're awesome. We all know Isaiah makes the show, right? And now Antonio.
Look out for
These
my
two
podcast.
together,
Look
dangerous.
out for my podcast.
It's been
It's
wild.
actually called Young Church Chronicles. We just, you know,
We make fun of middle school.
we make fun of everybody.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode. We'll see you next week.